He was elected by a landslide, but 3 years on, Barack Obama's hope and change has become something more like resignation and stagnation. The US president's poll ratings have now slumped from 70 to 40%. And with only a year to go to the next election, Obama is in desperate trouble. Our Washington correspondent, Matt Fry, reports.
Today, I say to you that the challenges we face are real. They are serious and they are many. They will not be met easily or in a short span of time. But know this, America, they will be met.
Remember this, President Obama, less than 3 years ago, on the day he took office, his words promised to change America. They captured the imagination of the world.
We must pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and begin again the work of remaking America.
Compare that to this exchange last Thursday.
Are you worried about your own powers of persuasion and maybe that the American public's not listening to you anymore?
You know, the American people are very frustrated. They've been frustrated for a long time. They don't get a sense that folks in this town are looking out for their interests.
Every president blames his opposition in Congress, and they all age on the job. But Barack Obama has been especially deflated by grim numbers that refuse to improve. Unemployment at over 9%, a record number of Americans living in poverty, an approval rating below 40%. Has the next Abraham Lincoln become the next Jimmy Carter, a one-term president?
Stop the wars now!
Barack Obama swept to power on a wave of political passion harnessed by millions of donors and email addresses. These were the foot soldiers of his campaign, his base. Now they're camping out in Washington's version of the Occupy Wall Street demonstrations, bitter and disillusioned.
I campaigned for him. I donated money to his campaign. I went door to door for him.
And then after all that, you're not going to vote for him next time, maybe?
I haven't really made up my mind, you know. I just want him to stand up and fight for the people, you know, the people who elected him.
So what has Obama not done that he should have done in your book?
He hasn't gotten out of Afghanistan. He's dropped lots of drones. He's killed lots of people with the drones. He hasn't stood up for the environment the way he said that he was going to. And many other things.
He's been a huge disappointment, and he doesn't seem to understand why. He's ignored so many of the things he said he would do.
So considering how much time and energy you invested in his campaign last time, do you feel a bit betrayed?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Betrayed is a good word for what we feel. And I say we because the people that I hang out with are, you know, of similar mind.
Wanted to come to me.
Now, the White House is only a few hundred yards from here, on the other side of that clump of trees. And if President Obama, sitting in the Oval Office, is paying attention to what's going on here and indeed all the other demonstrations around the country, he would notice something that should worry him. And that is the glaring lack of enthusiasm amongst his natural supporters for his candidacy next time round. And that translates into an opportunity for the Republicans. On the other side of Washington, in a five-star hotel, a gathering of the arch-conservatives who are as passionate today about removing Obama from the White House as his own supporters once were about putting him there.
A Republican candidate, any Republican this year is going to beat Obama.
I think that it's the Republicans' opportunity to win this election.
I think there's no chance in the world any of them will not beat this incumbent president.
7 out of the 8 Republican candidates hoping to unseat President Obama appeared at this summit. Such is their influence. Here was Herman Cain, the former boss of Godfather's Pizza.
Love ya! Love ya!
No, not a joke. In some polls, he's top of the pack, channeling America's anger.
We have a moral crisis. And we have a severe deficiency of leadership crisis in this country.
The Republicans feel that this has become their election to lose. Their problem is that they've been speed dating from one candidate to the next, unable to find someone to really fall in love with. President Obama's problem is that the man who rallied America with "Yes, we can" has now had 2.5 years of "Sorry, we can't."
Well, Matt Fry joins us now live from Washington. Matt, is this election really going to be the Republican Party's to lose?
Well, Kathy, it looks like that increasingly in terms of all the poll numbers, in terms of the economic numbers, unless there's some sort of divine intervention that improves this economy in the next year, this White House is in real trouble. The one silver lining, Kathy, is this, that the next election is not a referendum on Obama's record. It is a choice between him and another candidate. And that's where the White House hopes that it can basically beat the Republicans. Because if you look at all the polls at the moment, Barack Obama versus a generic abstract Republican, the Republican wins virtually every time. But if it's Barack Obama versus Mitt Romney, he might win. If it's Barack Obama versus the governor of Texas, Rick Perry, he might also win. So forget about hope and change from 2.5 years ago. What we're going to get this time round is fear and loathing, and plenty of it.
Matt Fry in Washington. John.